So today I'm doing another movie review, The Usual Suspects. The Usual Suspects takes place in New York City. This movie starts kind of at the end, but also the beginning. I'll explain on that later. But we meet Verbal. Verbal is a part of a crew that they're hired to go out and they have to do dirty work really for this huge crime boss figure. The crime boss figure is kind of a ghost. He's a legend in the world. His name is Keyser Söze. Keyser Söze, he's kind of just, people relate him to the biggest crimes, the everything, because we don't really know much about him. He's kind of a ghost. He's just there. We find out that Verbal's group, their connection to him is that each one of them in their past has done some crime that has taken away from his business. They had no idea that it was related to him in any way. And the only way they find this out is after they've all been apprehended. They've all been caught by the cops, and as they're waiting, they all get bailed out by this one mysterious figure. We come to find that this mysterious figure is the kind of a representative for Keyser Söze. He's not exactly his right-hand man, but he is. And as we find out, everyone in Verbal's crew is dead. They died during their last kind of like heist for him. We also find out that Verbal's kind of the lesser known or least criminal of them. There you have several different types of characters, like Keaton. Keaton is kind of their own little thing where he's the only real kind of big time mob type character in here. We also find that he also has a connection to Verbal, like he's trying not to lead him, he's trying to keep him out of most of the violence that happens. And that's kind of the basics of the movie, but I really want to get to my thoughts on the movie, so I figured I'd go straight for the why this is good. It has great character development. It gives you backstory on almost all the characters. Some of them are not as fleshed out, but that's because they're not that important sometimes. You get a real understanding of Keaton and the head cop, who is he has his own little vendetta against him. He's trying to get him. He has to get him. That's his man. And he's not going to stop until he does. So throughout the movie, he's trying to convince Verbal as they're like questioning him that to rat out Keaton, to give away that it was his idea and all that. And that's really why I think this movie works. And another thing is, this movie has a great twist. I guess I should say this now. This is a spoiler thing. I can't not talk about The Usual Suspects and not bring up the twist. The very end of the movie, it ends with Verbal. He's one diplomat, he's one immunity, he can't be tried for anything. And as he's walking out of the police station, he's given his story, he's given everything. He has something wrong with him, I can't remember the exact thing. His leg is kind of twisted the other way, but as he's walking out, you see his leg become straight. His posture changes. And at the very end, you find out that he himself is Keyser Söze. The huge criminal mastermind was there. They had him. But he faked it all. And the best part about the twist is he improvised his whole story almost. The whole story he used mostly revolved around things in the office that he was in. He used names, areas, all these different locations that were just on a simple bulletin board. And at this point, no one knew that was going to happen. It was unexpected. It changed this movie's tone. It changed everything. It changes the way you look at it. This is what makes this movie one of the greats. It was able to pull this elaborate plan on you that you couldn't tell was actually happening until you watched it. But then you kind of can see it at certain points if you rewatch it, you can sometimes pick it up. And I also think this movie works because of casting. The casting for this is great. A couple of examples of this are Kevin Spacey plays the verbal. Gabriel Bison is in this, and Benicio del Toro. He's kind of the main cop too. All these actors are really good and have years of experience. They know what they're doing. They know how to pull off roles, and they knew exactly what they were doing for this movie. That's why this is great. My final grade, 10 out of 10. I think if you haven't watched this, you must, because if you haven't watched it, you probably heard about it. It's really just a must-watch or a must-have in anyone's collection. I strongly recommend you watch this. There.